points higher on the Nifty. The mid-cap index is up about 90 odd points. The Sensex is up 100 points. So decent opening, you'd have to say. No big bang opening, just building on to its gains in a slow and steady way. The big mover is Tata Motors, almost a 5% rally right now. 1 lakh volumes already in the early morning trade. And the stock is inching higher, so that's the big Nifty gainer. Apart from that, Adani Enterprises, L&T, Titan are a couple of other big movers in trade. Bharti Airtel, ICICI Bank. ICICI Bank comes out with its numbers as well on the 22nd of this month. So ahead of that, perhaps there's some traction that you're seeing on that stock. Bajaj Auto, Hero MotoCorp, a couple of other names looking good. BPCL, UPL, Cipla, some names that are trending in the green right now. But Tata Motors is really the star of the show. 5% higher and huge volumes in the first tick. On the downside, Asian Paints down about 0.8%, Maruti down 0.5%, Infosys, IndusInd Bank, Kotak Mahindra Bank are all in the red right now. In fact, it's going to be a big week of banks as well. On Saturday, you have HDFC Bank's numbers. Post that, there's ICICI Bank. So, all of these banks are going to be in focus. And then you have something like a Tata Consumer Products, it's just a tad bit in the red. But otherwise, it's actually a decent opening. The advance decline ratio is well in favor of the advances right now, almost 1,900 stocks. And not just Tata Motors, but the Tata Motors DVR should also come up for you. That's up 5.5% too. So that seems to be the bright spot in trade.
Well, that's right, Sonia. And just take a look at some of these real estate companies. I think Shobha is up and about. Remember, post that income tax rate news, the stock got absolutely clobbered. It corrected close to around 20%. From around that 550, went down to around 420 odd. Today, that stock is bouncing back post that operational update. So that's up close to around 5%. So good going on that one. PNC Infra, well, it got a letter of acceptance for a project worth around 770 crores. So in pre-open, that one was up close to 2.5%. It's holding with those gains. Century Textiles, their Ram Birla Estates, they've acquired a 5.5-acre land parcel in Pune. The street likes that. That stock as well had opened up in the green with a gain of around 3%. Let's get in Century Textiles, still holding with a gain of around 2%. Credit Access Grameen, dispersals were up close to around 24%. AUM was up close to around 27%, and the average ticket size as well moved up by close to around 12%. Stock flying away, up close to around 5%. And a couple of other notable winners. You have RVNL, they emerged as the lowest bidder for a project worth close to around 400 crores. So that stock as well doing pretty well. So good start to trade. A quick check on some of these, city gas distribution companies. MGL and IGL, they ended at the high point of the day on Thursday's trading session, in fact. So let's see how they react. And the news is positive, but maybe bulk of that was factored in because at the end of the week, they went home with more gains, than what they started off. So more or less flattish to kickstart trade. Prashant.
So flat, Nigel, for now. IGL, MGL, and actually those are the two main. Gujarat Gas, of course, the impact is lesser. So that's the city gas pack. Let's just have ONGC up, ONGC and Oil India, and take a look at whether there is any pressure there. The oil producers, of course, in focus, 1.6 higher on ONGC, and I think you've got Oil India, which is down about 1% or so as well. Now, Tata Motors, of course, is inching on. It's up 5.5%, 6% now, 462 on the stock. So that clearly is the stock of the day with tremendous volumes as well. I can spot Adani Green with a 5% gain right behind in terms of volume-led gainer. So that's good to see. Adani Total Gas is up 5%. Again, these are coming up with volumes, and that's why I'm mentioning them. Godrej Properties, we mentioned 5.5 higher now, 1189, 1190 on Godrej Properties. Sobha, we just mentioned. Credit Access is up 7%. Volumes leave a lot to be desired, but we'll see if things pick up there. Credit Access looking up. RCF is up about 2.33%. Deepak Fertilizer is up about 2.25%. Nagarjuna Fertilizer is up about 2%. So some of these fertilizer names are also up between 1.5%, 2% or so at this point in time. On the downside, there is not very much. Vedanta is down 1%. KPIT continues it's a slow slope down. KPIT Tech is, I think the high last week was about 950. Stocks at about 780 now on KPIT Tech. Asian Paints is down about 1% or so. Bharat Forge, I think there is a downgrade on Bharat Forge. Stocks down about 1.25%. The North America truck sales have been disappointing for a few months now. And there is TVS Electronics, which is down about 2% or so as well. So this is I mean, coming up with lower volume, so I think we'll revisit some of these names in a bit from now. Numerically, overall advance decline is pretty strong. It's about almost not quite 4:1, but about 3.5:1 in favor of advances. Our market master